Right, so this is a level to, just a quick tutorial to explain how to put explosives into your enemies. It's a common question. One of the mistakes I think commonly made is that the explosives get glued to the enemy. And once that happens, then when you destroy them, the explosives go with the enemy. So for instance, if we just stick it in the middle of the enemy like this, it automatically becomes part of the overall selected object. So that when we destroy it, it goes away with the destroyed enemy. And away it goes. So, the real secret is when you put your explosives in, that you need to make a spot for it that you can put the explosives into without it being attached to the actual enemy. So when you put your explosives in, you need to make sure that it's not touching any part of it. I like to just make it really small. Then go back, reselect it, and you can make it a little bit bigger if you need to fit inside. It doesn't really need to be real big. Okay, now a lot of people don't want to see their explosives, so they will add something to cover it up. Take a bit of thin layer, apply it over the top. You'd probably make it a different shape so it wouldn't be so obvious, but grab it and glue it. The problem with that is once you've glued that, you've also glued it to the explosives, and so once again, when you destroy the enemy, the explosives go with it. So, what you need to make sure of is that when you cover it up, when you attach it, that it's never being actually attached to your enemy. So, what I'll often do, again, same technique, make a little spot to put the explosives in. And we grab the explosives and put it in there. Now what I wasn't doing before was actually attaching a switch to them. I wanted to demonstrate what happens with the explosives when the enemy is destroyed if it's attached. And then the thing that you can do to avoid the gluing when you cover something up is add a little piece right now. Add a little piece right out here that's not attached to the explosives. Glue it on there, and then later you can add more to it and it'll become part of the glued on object. Okay, so then what we need to do is, again, we'll grab this explosive, make it a little bit bigger so it fits in there nicely. But it's still not part of the enemy. If I grab it again and select it, I'm just selecting the explosives. Now what I want to do is get in here and add a switch to the actual explosives. I want it inverted so that it will only trigger when the mag key goes away. We would want it invisible, but for right now we're going to keep it showing. We don't want to actually attach it yet because we want to get our key on there. The key goes on to the enemy itself and will disappear when the enemy is destroyed. Now we're going to grab that switch and we're actually going to attach it to the explosives. So now, when we destroy our enemy, the enemy will disappear and so will the mag switch. But the explosives won't. For that microsecond that they're there, the trigger will then cause it to blow up. And then everything disappears. And that's how you make an enemy explode on destruction. I hope this helps, and happy creating!